practice field. They're getting some work in as they get ready for the 49ers. Welcome in, everybody, to Raiders Training Camp Special. I'm Amber Theo Harris, along with Eric Allen. And Eric, we got a chance to see the Raiders play against the Dallas Cowboys. We're getting ready for the 49ers, kind of an NFC affair here in the preseason.
The battle is over, Amber. The battle is over. That's what everyone's talking about.
That's
obviously.
what you took away from Dallas. We needed to get a quarterback, and they got one.
Exactly. Got a quarterback. And it's just not the game, though, Amber. It was the preseason. It was the training camp. It was the practices over in Costa Mesa. All those things led to a guy, Gardner Minshew, getting the call, and he's going to be our quarterback. But, again, there's some other things that we have to address, you know, including the receivers. Hopefully they're getting healthy and ready to go. And then that defensive line, making sure they can get it done and stop the run. That's the one thing that leaving the game, that's what I didn't like. We didn't stop the run like we should have. I
can't wait to talk to Rob Ryan about that. He's coming up in the show. Also, you're going to have a chance to catch up with Tre Tucker. So a lot to talk about, but let's look back at the game that was preseason game 2, and there's Gardner Minshew. At this point, he didn't know he was going to be the starter. He's still battling. Aiden O'Connell, he is waiting as well, and here we go. Second play of the Raiders' opening drive. Just give it to Zamir White.
And we didn't see enough. Guys, don't panic. We're 0-2 in preseason. Don't panic. If you know, we're going to be a running football team, right?
And it looks good.
Run the football, but each quarterback pretty much had 20 throws. We're not going to go into a game and have our quarterback throwing 40 balls a game.
It didn't work out there for that pass. But here we go, Cowboys ensuing drive. Malik Davis rushes to the middle for 9 yards. Cowboys showing they can run the ball too. Run defense.
That's
run
what it's
defense.
About. That's right.
Got to get that tightened up. 4 plays later, Brandon Aubrey, 54-yard field goal attempt.
This was the longest field goal kick ever. But it was just preseason, so it doesn't count.
It doesn't matter. First play of the Raiders' next drive, and we hope this. Maybe that won the job.
We're going to see a lot of that.
If that won the job. That connection's been there all camp, all preseason.
Yes,
Daniel Carlson from 29 yards out, and we have got a tied game. Let's go to the second quarter here. A.J. Cole punts.
Special teams flipping the field. That's what I'm talking about. Where's the coverage? Where's the coverage? Let's get down. Make some plays. Turnover.
That can change the whole momentum of a game.
Oh, it will. It will. Look at that. Look at that. That's a running back. That's a running back making that play. You know, hey, if you're a second, third string player, it's about making sure you show up on special teams.
Well, would they capitalize? 3 plays later, Gardner Minshew can't get it to Harrison Bryant. And the Raiders decide, hey, you know, it's preseason. Let's go for on 4th down.
Yeah, why not?
Let's see what happens. But it doesn't work out. And they got to punt here. Let's see what happens here.
Here's that guy. Here's that guy
Tre
again, Amber. Look at that. Tight rope in the sideline. Stay on the sideline.
Is that his mouthpiece? He needs his mouthpiece in, though. I'm just a little bit worried about it. But that was 43 yards to the Dallas 33. Here we go. Aiden O'Connell to Christian Wilkerson for 14 yards. First down, Raiders.
I like that route combination. All those guys coming across the middle, you just choose which one you want to throw the ball to.
A penalty stalled the drive, though, so here's Daniel Carlson again. Of course, he's money from 27 yards out. We got a 6-3 lead, Raiders, late in the half. End of Dallas's ensuing drive, and Trey Lance.
Trey Lance had a good game.
He did have a good game. He's got a new beginning in Dallas.
Yeah, he had
getting some chances without Dak out there. So the Raiders go 3 and out on the next drive. Dallas has the ball once more. Trey Lance again. You know what? He could run.
That mobility, stepping up in the pocket, making plays with your legs. And we still had, you know, our middle linebackers, our starting guys, and some of the secondary ends. So, again, you have to be concerned a little bit going forward with mobile quarterbacks.
Yep, especially, hey, you got to stop the run and stop the quarterbacks from running as well. So, Brandon Aubrey, 66-yard field goal. I think that was the longest one. That didn't count.
Oh, is that
I think that was the second one. But, hey, thanks for putting that on our radar. Dallas will punt. Aiden O'Connell gets it to Harrison Bryant.
Yep, using that tight end.
Yep, we're going to see a lot of tight ends this year. 4 plays later, Aiden O'Connell to the middle. To DJ Turner, he's looking good. That's your guy.
Turner, that's my guy right there. But look at that, he's calm and confident. He's like, hey, I'm throwing bullets here.
He was feeling good. And then he hits Harrison Bryant again for the touchdown. So touchdown, Raiders cuts the lead to 1 point.
I like the way Aiden was throwing that ball, man. It was coming out nice like a fastball.
Next play, Raiders going for it, and Aiden O'Connell 2-point conversion is no good. Almost intercepted. That was a little scary there.
The Cowboys playing pretty good defense right there.
So the 2-point conversion fails, and the Raiders are down by 1. In the 4th quarter here,
can't go that way. You can't really on a route like that. You can't go front side to your multiple receiver side. I think you should have started off left and then go back to the running back maybe.
Okay, so that can change the whole tenor of a game, a turnover like that.
Yeah, it can. It can.
Raiders would have to punt on the following drive. Snoop Connor rushes to the middle.
Snoop.
Probably a whole generation of kids nicknamed Snoop.
Oh, come off the edge.
Trey Lance, again.
Another running, the quarterback being very mobile in that situation there, had an opportunity to maybe get a sack and just have to secure the tackle.
And Dallas took a 2-score lead with that. Raiders' next drive doesn't look good. Carter Bradley, incomplete pass.
Yeah, it's difficult when you know situations in the games. Guys are sitting on balls, ready to jump them, and you're trying to make a play.
Yep, and a little hug from Mike McCarthy. Respect there. But you know what? There you go. Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew. I left that game not really knowing who the starting quarterback would be. But again, here is a big problem. Going to talk to Rob Ryan about this. Giving up 137 rushing yards.
Not good.
On the ground for a second week in a row. That's 135 plus rushing yards. That is a problem. Look at third down, though. That is a positive for the defense.
Yes, it is.
That is under 30% on third down. That is a positive for the defense, that's for sure. But the offense got to be a little bit better in the red zone.
Have to. Those are the keys to victory a lot of times is third downs on defense, and most importantly, and we talk about it all the time possession is another big key. More importantly, though, is red zone. I mean, you have to be the kind of team in the red zone that is getting touchdowns. And I know we're playing with, our second and third team guys. And when we get our first team guys in there, it's definitely going to be a different story because the red zone with Devontae and Brock Bowers and Big Mike and the running game, that can all add up to a very successful red zone for our football team. But we need to start to seeing that. And that's why it was so important that Antonio Pierce made that decision with Gardner Minshew or wherever the quarterback was going to be so we can start to game plan and get ready for week 1.
Yeah, he slept on it, right? Like one night, and they came out and said, it's going to be Gardner Minshew. So that announcement was made. They said they were going to make it after the second preseason game. They did, and so that is who they're going forward with. Now, Aiden O'Connell loses out. He started 10 games for this team last year. Did a nice job. But this is, Antonio Pierce did say that Aiden's a young player. He has tremendous upside. He will be a starter at some point in this league, whether it's this year or next year. So he kind of left a little leeway there. Who knows it? Look, 66 quarterbacks were used in the NFL last year. The chance of a team using 2 quarterbacks at some point is very strong. So it's nice to know that they have a backup now that can start.
We know Aiden can be productive. We know Aiden can kind of get things done. What's more important is when we're talking about what we start off with the Chargers, who have incredible defensive linemen. We go to Baltimore, outstanding defense. Then we skip a game and go to the Cleveland Browns. So those football teams are going to put a lot of pressure on the offensive line that's been up and down, been banged up a little bit, so we're not going to have a unit for maybe the third year in a row that hasn't played a lot together early on. So that's going to give Gardner an opportunity to be mobile, and I think Aiden's going to have his time. He's going to have his opportunities sometime in this season or maybe in his career to be a starter. We know he has an outstanding arm, can throw the ball all over the football field. He's done an incredible job taking over last year in difficult situations, been very successful. We leaned on him. Remember the second Charger game, putting up all those points, beating Kansas City in Kansas City. Aiden has a lot to be happy about, a lot to be proud about, and I think this organization is behind him, and I think he has a bright future ahead.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a good quarterback in this league, and we might even see him this year. So Gardner Minshew is the guy, and this is what Antonio Pierce said. We feel like Gardner gives us the best opportunity to get off to a fast start. You just mentioned that. That's what we're going with. So fast start, do you think it was the mobility, the ability to beat the pass rush that really was the big difference, especially with what you just said, is the Chargers and the Ravens with their defensive linemen and their pass rush coming in, the mobility?
Well, Amber, we were fortunate enough to see those practices early when the ones were going against the ones. Just the tempo, the vibe, the urgency that the offense played with, I thought was key and critical, particularly early on. So if we add in the practices, ones against ones, and then you start to think about, the preseason games, I just think he plays with a level of urgency that we need for this football team, particularly early on. we don't have the luxury to go 1-3 or 0-4. You know, we have to get out fast. This is not going to be the normal, which we hope. We don't want this to be the normal, hey, we take a little step, to little step, to little step, and then year 3, you know, we're winning division. This has to be ramped up, and I think he gives us the best opportunity, just not because of this year, but what he's done in the past. Remember, last year, he was maybe going to week 17 or 18 with his team vying for a playoff spot.
That's right. He was a 4th down away, a drop pass, by the way, that he made the pass. It was a drop pass to go to the playoffs. So he was in it, and he's had that kind of big game experience.
Exactly.
You know what also I think was a big determining factor? I bet you think it too. Tre Tucker, the big-time throws. There was clearly a chemistry with Tre Tucker. And if you don't think Davante Adams was on the side going, hey, man, like, I see that. We can both do that. That is an opportunity. Because, look, in the AFC West especially, you're going to need to make big-time throws, get the ball down the field quickly, and there's clearly a connection between he and Tre Tucker.
There definitely is. There definitely is.
I'm taking a look at some of the numbers. I mean, he was versus single coverage, 6 for 13, 142 yards, and a touchdown, 3 big-time throws. And it's about ball location.
It really is.
And timing.
It's about timing, ball location, accuracy, and more importantly, the creative juice that he has. And we've seen it happen. When you're in 3rd and medium and you have an opportunity to be on the edge and either throw the ball or run it for a 1st down, that keeps Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, all these quarterbacks on the sideline and gives us an opportunity to really control the clock, which is so important. So some of the things that we see in these young quarterbacks, the ability to be able to move, create, throw on the run, are things that Gardner Minshew can do, and those are things that I think this Raider football team definitely needs the first couple of weeks of the season.
And I'm just looking forward to his press conferences because he's very fun to talk to. He told me he's working on his mustache, just really filling it all in before the season starts. Stick with us here on Raiders Training Camp Special. Tre Tucker has been a highlight of this preseason, and EA has a chance to catch up with him on the back end of the break.
It's so many amazing women, and there's 32 spots.
Being a part of something bigger than yourself, how could it not define you?
I did think this moment will determine if I will keep dancing or not.
Oh my God. It's definitely nerves, but it's also so much excitement.
We did it. Solo done.
It's hard not to get your hopes up. There's a lot of emotion involved in this.
The moment right before going on, your mind just is racing, going through every possible thought.
Welcome to finals. Today's going to be an incredible experience. I really want you to think about your why, dance from your heart, and have an incredible time. Let's just make this a really positive day. This is our draft. It's your time to shine. You guys have worked your whole life to get to this point. Let this be about your love and your passion for dance, and just have a wonderful time. Raiderettes on me, Raiderettes on 3. 1, 2, 3.
To be a Raider is to be bold, powerful, and loyal.
Once a Raider, always a Raider.
Raider Nation family is authentic, with the heart here in Las Vegas. We are often imitated, but can never be duplicated. Why?
The autumn wind is a Raider.
Because there is only one nation.
Mentality and his aim going out there, he's a very driven young player, and he's doing all the things right now to put himself in position to keep getting better. So I mean, he's like my son right now. I feel like I got a son on the team, and in the most like brotherly way. But we going into year 2, going into year 11, we got a little experience gap, and I love nothing more here but to help anybody, but especially that kid.
A lot of people excited about Tre Tucker. For more on the relationship between Adams and Tre Tucker, be sure to head over to Raiders.com/news, where Raiders digital team reporter Levi Edwards breaks it all down. And EA, you know a good receiver when you see one.
Yes, I do.
You've gone up against the best.
Those two were pretty good.
You had a chance to catch up with
Yes,
Tre Tucker, who's had one heck of a preseason.
All right, we're here with Tre Tucker, the speedster here out of Cincinnati, going into your second year, right? Yep. Man, it's been talked about. You've had the best camp, best training camp, and it's also transferred to making big plays in the preseason game. What do you attribute that to?
All the hard work in the off season. I started, as AP said, a while ago, I started literally, honestly, 2 weeks after the season started.
Right.
So just getting to it and understanding what I needed to work on, and not just checking the boxes like, oh, I need to work on this, but doing that and doing it really well. And obviously, it's a progression. It's not just in the preseason; it's all year thing. So I'm gonna continue on my routine, and you can continue to expect big plays.
Mm-hmm. So year two. Special teams, you play some outside this year because Devontae has been playing. What's important to you? What matters to you?
The team. I came from Cincinnati, and we did a lot of winning there. So obviously, AAP's big thing is just win. You don't care how it looks, just win. And at the end of the day, that's really all that matters. And you need all 11 to do that. So starts with being my best version of myself, because if I'm my best version of myself, then whatever I need to do, I give my chance the best chance to win, because I'm the best version of myself. So that's really all that matters. We want to get wins in here, and Raider Nation deserves it.
Yeah, you're in a room with a lot of experience, a lot of guys, a lot of success, including your coach Edgar Bennett.
Yeah.
First, talk about his coaching style.
Oh my gosh, EB, honestly, and I tell him this all the time, but he's by far my favorite coach. I mean, loves football. I mean, let's be real. We're in the NFL, and I don't know. I can't speak for everyone else, but I just know him. He loves football, and he is like a huge part of my development. Just dating back last year, me and him have a little routine, and we're really, really, really close, and I think that helps us, kind of understand each other. And I mean, he's done it. You ask him how many years he's played and how many years he's coached. It's double my age almost. So he knows football well, and he's been around a long time. And huge shout out to him.
Yeah, does he tell you about any of those Green Bay Packer days?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Obviously he coaches receivers, and he was a running back. But he'll tell you, all you had to hear is 78. He had 78 receptions as a running back, so he knows a little bit about the wideout stuff. And I remember before I didn't score my first touchdown, he was like, I got touchdowns in this league. Before you say anything to me, you got to get to a touchdown. So a lot of jokes cracked there, and I love him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're in a room with Devontae, Jacoby Myers, but tell me a little about the advice that Devontae or Jacoby have given you thus far.
Yeah, I mean, so much. I can't thank both of them enough. I always say that I'm blessed to be in the room that I am in, because it's just to have the right leadership, and be able to gravitate towards those guys. You kind of see how they got to where they are, and then you kind of just take what you learn from them and put it towards yourself. Because, like I always tell them, I don't try to steal what they do. I just try to add a few things in my bag. But advice-wise, man, just be you. You know what I mean? And that's cliche to say, just, simple, because just be you, but really be you. I've been blessed with speed, so do whatever you need to do and utilize that, get open. We talk about so much stuff all throughout the day. I'm sure if you guys are around, you guys see us walking around, and, who knows what we're talking about. But I love those to the death. Those are my big brothers. Although I beat up on Jacoby a little bit too much. But,
you got to get him a little bit.
Yeah, but I love those to the death. And honestly, like I said, EB, those two are a huge part of my development as well.
Yeah. And in high school and in college, were there any particular receivers you paid attention to, kind of modeled your game after?
Yeah, obviously Tyreek Hill, the speed factor.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because I remember, like I said a while ago, my coach, he'd put on NFL receivers throughout the week, and we watched a lot of Devontae Adams releases, route running and all that, and it was so crazy. Now that's one of my guys. So, but Tyreek Hill for sure, just because you try to look at guys who are similar to you, and what are they doing to perform really well. And I watched a lot of him, and he's definitely one of my favorite players.
Yeah, for sure. When you're going through that process of going from year one to year two, and you have the experience of year one to kind of lean on a little bit, are there any particular DBs that gave you issues, press, off, things like that?
Honestly, I would say no. I think that just comes with the preparation each and every week, and having EB as a coach, it's like you're not even worried about losing to the DB. You're worried about what EB has to say. So, you know what I mean? So you have no choice but to go out there and win. But obviously, I would say the biggest thing is the NFL. Every DB you're going against is really good. They were the best at their school, and they're the best in the world. So you have to take their approach in practice and all throughout the week to understand that, like, when you're going against whoever you're going against, that you're preparing to play against the best. So was that route good? Sure. But would it win against the best? No. So that's the kind of mindset that you have to have, and helps you go out there every Sunday and compete and do really well.
All right. I'm not going to tell anybody. Are you still the fastest on the team, or?
Still and always have been. Yes, sir. 100%.
On every team you played on?
Every team I played on.
What's the 40 time for real?
4.3.
4.3?
4.3.
High 4.3 or?
Low 4.3. You know, it's funny because you can find a video. I clocked 4.29 at college.
Come on now.
Yeah, and
you're about 20 yards too short, though. Come on now. You ran a 20, not the 40.
I ran a 40. And then look at the track time, 100 time, 8-time state champion track, 10 400 meter. You know, you just look at all the stats, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So still the fastest, and always was the fastest. So we'll nip that in the butt right there.
Well, last question is your relationship with Gardner Minshew. He was named the starter a couple days ago, and congratulations to him. It was a great battle. But what's your relationship with Gardner?
I love Gardner, man. He's such an energetic guy. Every time I see him, he just smiles, and we just give each other a handshake, just because, you know, his demeanor is contagious. You know how he carries himself, and just a cool guy to be around. And we hit it off as soon as he got here. Like I said, such a good guy. And, you know, when you start to build that connection, that trust, you know, he trusts me when he puts the ball in the air that, you know, I'm going to come down with it. And same with him. So you always want to be the quarterback's best friend. And I really, really enjoy him being our quarterback.
Hey, man, we really appreciate you spending time with Raider Nation, and good luck this year.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Stick with us here on Raiders Training Camp Special. When we come back, a preview of the final preseason game, looking to take on the 49ers.
My favorite Raider growing up was Bo Jackson. Favorite Raider when I was growing up, we know Cliff Branch and Daryl LaMonica, some of the greatest Raiders of all time.
Favorite Raiders, Jim Otto. The 00, the hook in the helmet, the guy with no pads and nothing on his arms. That's the tough guy in my book.
My favorite Raider growing up was Daryl LaMonica.
My favorite Raider growing up was Al Davis.
Home black. That's the Raider way, baby.
Home jersey's always better.
And the one thing about those black jerseys is Al Davis would make sure he put them on. We're supposed to wear white, but he put the black jerseys out and said, put them on. We're going to wear them. They're going to be afraid. They won't notice. I love that. Big Al. He was the man. Oh, my God. Just win, baby.
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 You're listening to Upon Further Review. I'm your host, Eddie Pascal.
Good morning, Raider Nation.
Welcome to Raiders Roundtable. JT along with Eddie Pascal.
He dissects the play quickly and makes the move to the football.
Head coach, and one of the additions was a practice at Allegiant Stadium in front of the fans, which was really exciting to see. Why do you think that he wanted to do that?
Well, AP took him behind the shield a little bit, which was really cool. And this is the second one. And he just wants the fans to understand that there's opportunities for them, no matter what your pay scale is like, to come be a part of this football team.
I love that.
It doesn't matter where you're from. He wants to have this Las Vegas back to that old culture of where we came from. The second thing, and probably most important, he wants to create that home field advantage. So he wants the players to buy in and be able to come to the stadium and like, this really is our place. So you have to have some equity in all of this, and you have to be able to spend some time on the stadium. The fans are there, so it just really creates that great home field feel. advantage. The fans are there, those true fans who may not be able to, be in all the great lounges and stuff, but those guys are going to give you energy. They're going to give you noise. You're going to have that crowd environment in practice. So all those things hopefully add up to another really good home record. We were like 6-3 last year.
Yeah. Yeah, Raider Nation makes it hard for visiting teams, that's for sure.
Yeah, we haven't had great home field for a long time.
And you know they are going to be ready for the 49ers. Those fans, they do not want the fans coming to Vegas. So no starters playing in this game, typical of a final preseason game.
Right.
But what are we hoping to see from some of the backups?
Depth. We need to find out if we are comfortable with guys, defensive backs, offensive linemen, defensive line. We need to figure out if depth-wise we're going to be okay. So it's very important for these guys who are third, fourth string still fighting for that job to be able to make some plays for us and have a situation to where, hey, I'm going to be on special teams. I'm going to be the nickel back. I'm going to be the free safety. I'm going to swing from guard to tackle. All these guys right now are really fighting for their lives in the National Football League. And this can be an opportunity for some guys, if you get that opportunity, for some guys to kind of make their name known.
Yeah, there's only a couple starting positions
only
left.
Only a couple, yeah.
That still have to be decided. One of them is the right tackle position, DJ Glaze, the Terp out of Maryland, going up against Thayer Mumford, who's still very young in his career.
Veteran and rookie going at it.
That's right. That's right. And what are you seeing from both of them?
Well, again, Mumford does an outstanding job of run blocking, and he's always done that. So that's the one thing he has kind of in his back pocket. DJ, we just don't know. He's young. We don't know if he's going to be a better run blocker or a pass blocker, and that's why it's so important to get him as many reps as possible all up and down, because the one thing that'll keep you on a roster is versatility. And so DJ has to prove that he can play guard. He can play right tackle. We all know that Colton's going to be the left tackle, but this is an opportunity for both of these guys to really sharpen what they're weak at. So Mumford needs to continue to perform at pass blocking. His pass sets need to be stronger. And DJ Glaze needs to continue to perform from week to week. You're going to have some bad weeks in practice going against guys like Max Crosby, right? So you have to prove in practice and on film that you have grown from those experiences and made the steps necessary for the coaching staff to count on you.
Yeah, but Max is getting them ready for Joey Bosa week one, Khalil Mack. You got the Ravens defense, so getting them prepared. Also, cornerback is a battle to watch down to the wire here. Jacorian Bennett, another Maryland guy. What's up with drafting the DMV guys? Jacorian Bennett and DeCamerion Richardson, who's very young. He was a late-round draft pick, and then Brandon Faison is also involved. What do you think?
Yeah, I think DeCam Bennett has really, I think, performed really well. I mean, this is a great picture right here. Just him cutting off, being in the right place. He's made some really solid tackles. Most importantly, the play in the end zone, in the red zone to block the ball. DeCam, I think, is a young guy. That one right there. Hey, that's textbook right there.
Yep,
that's a great job right there, coming underneath all those little technical things that you need to do to be a really good corner in this league. He's showing that, and he has shown that all through training camp. The practices, he's got his hands on the ball. All the guys celebrate when he makes plays. So I think he has really locked down that spot opposite Jack Jones. I just think that DeCam needs to find a way to turn all that physical ability he has and all those measurables into a guy who understands the game. And that's going to take time. You have to be a kind of player who's really ready to develop and listen to the coaching, and hopefully he's that kind of guy.
All right, we're going to see them out there on the field. Get ready for it. It is preseason game number 3. It'll be at Allegiant Stadium on Friday. I hope you guys go out to Allegiant Stadium. Hey, for Eric Allen, I'm Amber Theo Harris. We'll see you out there this weekend.